Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Lorz, and welcome to Lorz Out Loud, where we do podcasts, reviews, and opinions on popular culture and different topics of interest. For the next few weeks, I'm going to be focusing on a show from the UK called Love Island, but the US version. I might throw in some of the UK version as well if you guys are interested in my opinion. I have started to watch it only this year, Love Island UK, and I've done a couple of podcasts on it on Anchor, which is a podcast channel, but I haven't done any videos on YouTube. So I set up this channel basically to give my reviews on different topics of interest and pop culture topics. So if you guys are interested in those kind of topics, then keep on watching. And today we are going to be reviewing the first episode of Love Island USA. Now, I follow a few people on YouTube that do reviews of the UK version of this show. For those who don't know, Love Island is a dating show where basically a bunch of beautiful people go into a villa and then they try to find love with each other. My favorite person that I follow that does reviews on the UK version is Morad. I only discovered him after I started watching this year's show, and he is very funny. He does very good reviews and analysis of the show, and put in some psychological analysis in there as well. So yeah, he's very good to watch. So if you want to get good reviews on Love Island, check his channel out. His name is Morad. I forgot his surname, but yeah, his channel is out there for you guys to check out. But I'm going to be starting off by reviewing the first episode of Love Island USA. Obviously, they've taken a lot of the inspiration from the UK version. A lot of people are commenting that they're not sure if, the US is going to ruin this show for us. The US does take a lot of show ideas from the UK. A lot of things really start from the UK, like shows like MasterChef. I think The Voice started in the UK, I believe, or maybe that one started in the US. Like was Pop Idol, like those kind of old shows, and even some of the newer shows. I forgot what was the one that Simon's on. I know he's got American Idol, and British has Got Talent was the first one, and now they have American version and Asian version and different versions. So a lot of like game shows do start from England, and that's been going on for years. And it gets picked up by the US. So this is another one that has that's happened to. And the first episode, I must say, I was skeptical because obviously I am really liking the UK version. I was skeptical about the US version, but the first episode was really good. So we're gonna do like first impressions on the on the characters and the cast. So with the girls, I have a few notes, so I'm going to kind of refer to them just to remind myself. With the girls, one of the first girls that came in was Caro, and that girl, she brought a big personality, and like kind of like I took to her instantly. I feel like at the moment she is one of my favorites because she's got a very outgoing personality. She's very bubbly, and yeah, she just brings a really big presence. She has this beautiful big head of hair. I think she might be Afro Latina. I'm not too sure. But yeah, she is absolutely stunning, and she's a big character, so I think she'll bring a lot to the villa. So yeah, I really liked her from the very get-go. Then another girl that came in was a black girl called Alana. Now she is reminding me a bit of Amy from the UK version from this year, because she has never had a boyfriend before. She says she's been in situationships, but she's never had an actual boyfriend. She is 21 or 22, I think 21 years old, and she's never had a boyfriend. So we shall see what happens with her. She's also quite you can tell that she's a real person. She doesn't really fake anything. So I'm interested to see how far she goes. Another girl that came in was a girl called Elizabeth. To be honest, she's a bit bland to me. For me, she's one of the characters that I'm not really like gelling to straight away. But yeah, we'll see if she goes any further. the fourth girl that came in was Alexandra. She seems very picky because during the coupling of the episode, she didn't step up for any of the guys until the last guy came out. So she seems a little bit picky, but she stepped up for Michael at the end. So we shall see what happens with her. There's not really that much to her at the moment. And then there's Mallory, who looks like a Playboy bunny. That's when I first saw her. That's the first thing I saw. I thought of, like, did she look like a Playboy bunny, basically? So yeah, those were the 5 girls that came in. Out of all those 5 girls, the only one that is really giving me some kind of storyline at the moment is Carol. So yeah, we'll see what happens with her. With the boys, there was Michael, who was kind of the last one to come in. He's a model, and he's a vegan and a dog lover as well. So yeah, he seems like obviously he's a pretty face, he's a model, but we'll see if he actually brings any sort of narrative to the show. When these kind of shows come on, sometimes a lot of the typical pretty ones are the ones who kind of like are very bland and kind of go into the background. So at the minute, he's not really giving me much, but we'll see what happens with him. My favorite boy at the moment is Cashel. Now, this guy, his character, and he coupled up with Carol. So I feel like they are both really big personalities that are going to dominate or have dominated very quickly, and I think they are going to dominate the narrative of the show from the very beginning. So I'm very interested to get to know Cashel. He's kind of like those kind of people who's like very free spirited, very outgoing, very like you can take him to the farmers market and take him to a board meeting in the same breath. You know, he's very versatile in his character, which is very interesting to watch. And at the moment, he is definitely my favorite so far from just this one episode that I've seen. There is Weston, who is a Texas cowboy. Yeah, he seems quite fun. Haven't seen much from him from the first episode, but he seems quite fun. And then there's Yemen, which is the black guy. He is he seems really nice as well. Like, it seems like he will bring a lot of storyline to the show as well. So I'm excited to see what he does. And also the last guy is called Zach, and he's 22-year-old, and he's a very beautiful boy. Let's not get it twisted. He is very beautiful. But I was really surprised to hear that he works as a cashier in a grocery store. I was like, cashier? Like, at 22, really? Like, if nothing else, like, you can be a model, you can do something else. Like, not to bash any cashiers, like, if you're a cashier, please don't come for me. But I don't know why that really surprised me that that's what he said his job was. In the interviews, he was very bubbly and very outgoing, but in the villa so far, he's kind of faded into the background a little bit from the first day, but we'll see what happens. So they came into the villa. The villa is in Fiji, so they have gone to Fiji. The UK version, they go to Spain. So yeah, the American version, they're in Fiji. A lot of the structure of the show is very, very similar to the UK version. So if you've watched the UK version, you will see the structure that they go through. They basically come in like the UK version. They get to know each other very quickly, and then they couple up. You know, so the boys come in. And then the girls have to step up if they fancy the guy, and then the guy finally chooses. So it's a lot of the narrative and the structure of the show is very similar to the UK version. So so once all the boys and all the girls came in, they chatted for a bit, and then the host came in, and then just lined up the girls and said, basically, we're gonna start bringing the guys in. And I think the first guy that came in was Casual, and he picked Carol. So yeah, and it's so funny to see that in the American version, basically the black girls were the first ones to be picked, which was very interesting, because if you're from the UK, which I am from, you will know that in the UK version, the black girl is always the last. But in the American version, that was not the case. People, like, the guys were going for the black girl straight away. So he came in, and they asked if any of the girls liked him, and then nobody stepped up. I think, I don't know, maybe people were not gelling to. I feel like Casual is the kind of guy that you might not be attracted to initially, but his character and his charisma will make you fall in love with him. He really looks like that kind of guy who is not afraid to talk to a girl, to woo a girl. He really has a charm about him, which can be very dangerous, but could make really good TV. So we shall see with him what happens. But yeah, he came in and none of the girls stepped up for him. And when the host asked him to choose who he wanted to go with, he went straight for Carol, which is the girl with the lots of curly, beautiful hair. So yeah, she was the first one off the board, and then the other guys came in and paired up as well. So in the end, the couples that were made was Yemen and Alana, so which is basically the two, like, basically black people that you can definitely see that they're black. So yeah, Yemen the guy, and Alana, like the tall girl, she's a student but she looks like a model. So they coupled up. Zach, the grocery guy, coupled up with Elizabeth. Alexandra coupled up with Michael, which is the model, and they were like the last couple to get together. Casual, I can never say his name properly. I just call him Cash. Cash coupled up with Caro, which is at the moment my favorite pairing so far from the show. And Mallory coupled up with Weston, the Texas cowboy. Yeah, and that was the couples that was made up. And at the end, they brought in a bombshell, which is Kyra. So Kyra, I think she's a black girl. So yeah, she's basically, she came in as the bombshell. So, So in 24 hours, she has to choose one of the guys to couple up with, which will leave obviously a girl without a guy, and then that girl will be vulnerable. So she's 22 years old and she's a musician. I think she's a drummer or something like that. But anyway, she's a musician, and yeah, so she came in. So I think that kind of threw everybody off a little bit. And then so after the coupling up, they started to get to know each other, and that very night was it? Yeah. So no. So and Carol did not like Cash at the beginning. She was like, no, I don't really, he's not really my type, blah, 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 blah. As I said, Cash looks like the kind of guy who will win his way into your heart. And I feel like he did that with her. He's very charming, very talkative, very open. So even during the night, he was cuddling her and he was giving her kisses on the forehead. I was like, wow, day one, Cash, whoa. Like, but he does it in a way that doesn't seem creepy. It's so weird. It could be good and dangerous at the same time, if you know what I mean. So yeah, they were the ones that kind of were the strongest from the get-go, or the most touchy-feeling. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're strong, but that was the most, they were the most touchy-feeling couple from the beginning. And yeah, the other couples, yeah, everybody went to sleep, and they were the ones that were cuddling the most. And then the next day, obviously, Kara is trying to figure out which guy she likes. I think initially she said Zach, Weston, and what is the black guy's name? Yemen. So she likes those three initially. So she went to talk to Weston a little bit, yeah, in the day. And I don't feel like Weston likes her in that way. I feel like Weston is a very typical, like, country guy. Maybe like he's not very, where he's from or his background, it's not very diverse. I feel like he's quite happy with the girl he's with. He looks like somebody who'd be into blonde hair, blue eye kind of girl. You know what I mean? So nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I don't think he's diverse in his dating life as some of the other guys might be. So yeah, she talked to him a little bit. I didn't get any vibes that he liked her really. This is the bombshell, obviously, Kyra. And then she went to talk to, who did she talk to? So she talked to all the guys she liked. So she talked to Zach as well a little bit. She talked to Zach? No, she didn't talk to Zach. She talked to Yemen a little bit. And during her conversation with Yemen, my girl dropped the bombshell. So basically, Yemen asked her, you know, how was your last relationship? How long was it? And then she was like, oh yeah, it was this long, blah, blah, blah. I've been in a relationship for like, I don't know, 10 months or 2 years. It's like, my longest relationship was for 2 years. And she casually, my girl casually just says, oh, and it was with a girl. Now what now? How do you just randomly drop in a conversation, oh yeah, by the way, it was with a girl? Like, what? Like, so I think it threw Yemen off a little bit. I don't know if it's going to put him off in that sense, but yeah, it was a bit of a shock even to myself. I was like, what, a girl? So yeah, that was the big reveal from her. So the bombshell that has to steal a guy. Oh, I'm guessing she's into guys also because she's there looking for love with a dude. But she dropped that bombshell that she had her longest relationship in her life was with a woman. So we shall see about her. So yeah, and then uh yeah, so and then after that obviously they were all talking a little bit, and then the evening came and they were sitting around, and then they basically it ended with them gathering at the fire pit waiting for Kyra to tell everyone who she'd chosen. Now before that, the night before, um Cash said to Kyra, "Oh, I would like to have a chat with you in the morning." Now, so I don't know. I think, like I said, Cash could be, he could be genuine and he could be dangerous at the same time, because the way he said that, he's like he's trying to stir a situation in the villa, because now I feel like Kyra is falling a bit for him, and he's wanting to talk to Kyra, which he did, and it's making Kyra a little bit nervous. So I'm not too sure if she's going to choose him, because I feel like his charm has kind of gone on him a little bit, but she was still mentioning that she was still interested in Western and Yemen. So I don't know how she's going to choose. If she does choose, if she does choose Cash, I don't know if that's going to cause a problem with Caro. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting yeah, scenario. So when after she spoke to after Cash spoke to her the night before, he told Carol about it, that he was going to have a chat with her, and then Carol got a bit uncomfortable, like say, "Oh, you, yeah," basically not wanting her to steal her man, you know. So I know this is only day two, and then she kissed him. I was like, "Girl, you need to slow down a little bit. I like you, but you need to slow down. You're doing too much, too quick." But yeah, that was the episode. I'm very interested to see the next one, to see who Kyra chooses and how that will affect the show. I can't tell just yet if it's going to be as good as the UK version, because as you know, once you have an original version of something, it's really really hard to like a kind of like a replica of it, if you know what I mean. So I don't know how it's going to go, but the first episode wasn't bad. I was intrigued the whole way through, and I enjoyed watching it the whole way through. So I will come back tomorrow with the episode 2 review. Until then, if you've seen the show, let me know below what you thought of the first episode, if especially from the UK. What do you think of it compared to the UK from the first episode? And if you haven't seen it and you're not based in the US, I know in the US it's on CBS, but in the UK, I don't know if it's playing on regular TV. I watch it online. So if you just type in on Google Love Island USA watch online, I'm sure some channels will come up for you to be able to do that. So thank you guys for listening to my review. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel and keep up to date with me on my opinions and views on pop culture and little reviews like this on some dating shows. I do like dating shows, I must say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.